The penis is evil. The penis. I'm done. All right, hello everyone. This is the Dreadpirate once again, and I obsessed with Zardoz for some reason, and with me once again is Malmodo. Malmodo, say hi.
It's because of his red thong.
My red what?
His red leather thong.
The red leather thong of Zardoz. That is hot.
That's why you obsess over it.
That's very sexy.
I come to terms with my male penis envy.
It's just you know.
Ah, yeah, I know. Sean Connery, fucking demon.
The sexiest man alive. You know, we should all see. We should all. If there's a movie with a line like "the penis is evil," you owe it to yourself to see it.
They should remake Zardoz, but as a complete farce. But obviously have like the hottest guy they could in the thong. Like Liam Hemsworth is pretty good for that because he's jacked. They look great and that kind of stuff.
Are you suggesting that Zardoz is not a farce?
No. I mean, making a real farce at the times. Because I mean, you need to have like someone bring up the Me Too movement and shit like that.
But why? Why do we want to fuck up Zardoz with the Me Too movement? Why do we want to do that?
To make it topical.
What does it have to do with the Me Too? Because there's rape? Is that why?
Yeah, because the penis is evil.
Okay. Oh my God. So are you suggesting that Anita Sarkeesian is really Zardoz?
No.
Like in some dystopian future, there's gonna be a giant like stone version of her head flying around yelling at people.
You know, we could make it her head.
Could make it her head. The penis is evil.
Perfect. No one would sue us for.
The followers of Zardoz did an awful lot of rape to be supported by Anita Sarkeesian.
Rick and Morty, they had a Zardoz reference that I'm thinking about more so.
Okay. Well, you did just show me keep that lady safe, and that was fun.
Summer safe.
Keep Summer safe.
Yeah.
We'll bring your dead son back to life just for him to dissolve in your hands if you don't leave Summer alone.
No, Summer was like, "Don't kill him," so it paralyzed him.
What else happened? Okay, you had some topics of conversation.
All right, so we had several things we need to discuss. One being the state of affairs with DC and how they continue to suck and not put actual love and care into the product.
Fuck
Two,
DC Comics. Fuck DC.
I haven't seen fucking the best DC picture ever, that being Mask of the Phantasm.
Wait a minute. Mamoto, you and I just don't like DC Comics because we're Marvel people. That's what all the fanboys are gonna say.
You know, that's the ricochet argument people use, that you can't criticize something because you're someone else. It's like, I do like Marvel more than DC as, like, readability. Like, DC will give me an epic Paul Bunyan story, let's say. And Marvel will still give me the trashy Shores that I love.
Yeah.
Oh, Jersey Shores, by the Shores, by the way.
I almost understood that reference. Good.
Excellent. Yeah, I almost got that reference, too.
Well, okay, I think it's important to note that it's like I think just full disclosure, it's like, yeah, I am more of a Marvel person. I kind of am more of an X-Men, Spider-Man sort of guy.
But what's funny is people aren't like, oh, you don't like the new Star Wars because of Star Trek.
They could probably use that against me too. I'm more of a Star Trek person, but that's the thing. It's not like I don't love Star Wars, and it's not like I don't love DC Comics. I do love DC Comics. Justice League.
It's tough
Unlimited,
love.
Justice League Unlimited is one of the best TV shows within the past 20 years.
Oh God, yes, JLA is wonderful. And you know what it was before that? Fucking Batman the Animated Series. That shit was bringing in.
Which
I think they got awards. I think they got real fucking big time awards for their cartoon.
They did, and that's the thing. The whole reason why we're getting DC Comics movies today is based off of that popularity.
And they couldn't have that level of gravitas to the material again.
Yeah, it doesn't have that level of gravitas.
That's the main complaint that we're going to be talking about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing is I want to talk about how to bring Tremors into the 21st century movie.
Yeah. Because
he has to go and watch fucking he's gonna watch Mask of the Phantasm and get up to date.
Okay, I guess we should talk about this too. So we were talking about this before, and all right, I can't remember if I've seen Mask of the Phantasm all the way through. Basically, this is the moment of hand over your nerd card. I've seen I've seen Mask of the Phantasm, but I can't remember if I've seen it all the way through.
Well, you better start watching it now, Eddie, because next comes the dick punches.
I don't. I've seen it. I liked it, but it's been a very long time. And I know like the basics. I know that Phantasm was like.
No, don't do spoilers.
No spoiler alert. I know the basic plot.
Peripherally. You just never sat down and actually watched it and took it in.
It was like, I think I came into like Josh's room when I was hanging out with him one time, and it was like he was watching it, and so we watched it.
Go on, Eddie. You have to go ass to ass with it.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I've kind of like seen it out of order, but I do like it. I just don't remember it, and it's not fresh in my mind. It is a brilliant movie. It's probably one of the best Batman movies out there, and underappreciated because it's animated. But
yeah.
But
I recently linked something on Berserk too, because fucking Berserk is underappreciated because it's anime. Meanwhile, people are sitting there being like, "Oh, Game of Thrones is so edgy," and I'm just like,
yeah, it's like you guys don't know shit. you guys.
It's like we've been living in comic books for a while, which can try out thoughts and ideas that the main forms of media won't touch because they're afraid of what's currently happening. It's like the media always plays it safe, like. That's going to be later complaints with DC, is they're playing it safe as hell.
Yeah.
But they're playing it safe in the way that's pure greed. Where they're like, oh, we don't want to put money into this unless we see it's promising. I think and even then...
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, oh, like it's showing that there is probably some superhero fatigue because Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are not, and Iron Fist, all gone.
That might actually be Iron Fist's fault, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's not their fault that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are going.
Well, yeah, like people
lackluster season.
People liked Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and I would argue they should.
Now, mind you, they're keeping the Punisher. They're keeping Daredevil.
Oh yeah, and that was the runaway success they've had. But it's like still.
Well, those are going to see. Oh, people like Grimdark. It's like, yeah, we like some Grimdark. We like Levity, but you know. Grimdark, sure. We're adults. I can stand to see a peepee.
What?
That's Game of Thrones argument. It's like there's so many penises in it. And it's like, yeah, okay. I didn't know that they do stuff to you. Like, it's funny how I gotta say it's the toxic masculinity that everybody complains about. It's like other guys won't look at another dick, even inside of a theoretical area such as a fantasy show.
Yeah.
It unnerves them. And I was thinking, like, man, what kind of dick problems did I have to sit there and be like, I saw another dick and it made me feel bad about my dick? Like, if that's my first thought, like, is there something, like, horribly wrong with you at the end of the day where you're like, I'm scared for my dick?
Are we talking about, like, homophobia, basically? I mean, is it, like, a type of
thing
where...
homophobia there. But
I don't go out of my way to look at dicks. I don't. As a rule, I don't like seeing a dick. But I mean, it happens. You know, whatever. It's like.
Well, if you see a dick in a show, you're like, they ruined it by putting dick in it.
I mean, I watch porn, and like, you know, eventually the dude's gonna whip his dick out.
No, it's not about the dick and the porn. Even though you can't watch porn with a little dick.
You can't. You can't do it.
It's just unsatisfying. You know, everybody's a little bit gay. We don't want to say it. We don't want to admit it.
You know, I feel like
little gay holes. And be like, I can only watch porn with, like, big, hard, throbbing, just, yeah.
Well, it's like Ron White said, it's like you can't, like his homophobic friend, he was having a conversation with him, and he was all like you watch porn with, like, with, like, dudes with little dicks? Like, no, I like big, hard, throbbing, oh.
I was referencing without being oblique, but you know what? Props to Ron White for coming up with the joke.
Yes.
Because it is a great joke. It is very telling. Like, that's one of the things. I was talking about philosophy and comedy another time with you. But it's how people deal with difficult to deal with shit. And apparently one of the things that's difficult to deal with is, kind of like a big dick. You know, I don't want them up my butt. I don't have the desire, like, all those backpedaling straight guys do. But, you know, they still, like, you know, they need to have a big cock in the porn. Even though at the end of the day, like, that's show dick. Like, you know, women, they don't need that much dick. Now, some will be, like, slamming the fucking comment button right now, being like, no, I need big, thick, girthy cocks. And I'm like, well, way to go. You had a few kids. That happens. No, I'm joking. It's a mean joke. Oh, you got the snort. Now there's going to be women out there slamming it, being angry, like, fucking, I could be tight after having 5 kids. Yeah, sure. All right, your husband. I don't care.
Perhaps they're concerned about that. We're like we'll be judgmental.
That men are afraid of like a lack of tightness on their blade of grass penis.
Mm-hmm. So I feel really bad for going to all this trouble to get like DC Comics images right now for what we're going to talk about, because we're just talking about dicks at this point. So
well, we talked about the DC comic dick and how it's flaccid as fuck.
Well, okay. Well, I have a nice image of DC Rebirth here, which is it's here because it's here because this is basically saying this is going back in the right direction. I'm kind of annoyed that we had to get to this point. I hate this fucking cycle we keep on going in with comic books every now and then, where like some nervous executive starts, screaming, "People aren't reading enough comics. People aren't reading enough comics. We need it. It's the continuity.
It's Dio sitting there
we got to reset
with
the continuity."
a latch in one hand and a dildo made out of rolled up $100 bills.
Yeah, it's like we need it. People aren't reading our comics. People aren't buying the comics
He
because
creates from ass to mouth rapidly on himself.
Yeah, the comics are the continuity is too complex. It's too convoluted, so we can't follow it. So we just got to reset the whole thing. That'll bring in people that have no interest in reading comics in the.
You know what they did? It was the really worst part about why comics really started to take off again. Mm-hmm. They advertised. They had to advertise to say that there was a change. Yeah. And once they're done advertising, they try to hook them in with story structure, and they stop the fucking advertising. They stop the promotion. So this is something I was bitching out the other day, is a lot of places don't promote anymore. They don't, like, small places they promote. They're like, oh, come to our bar. We just opened up, but we're going to keep going with this, like, drink offer for a while.
Yeah.
But then other places, they get established, and they're immediately like, okay, dry that shit up. We're bleeding chips.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a
resource. It, man, or else people are like, oh, this is literally just a grab.
Yeah. So,
is doing left and right is they're just grabbing.
Yeah.
We should just refer to all sorts of physical acts of diabolical shit as trumping. We'll get the other guys pissed off. But yeah.
You gotta grab your readers and your bar patrons by the pussy.
Obviously. And that goes doubly true for readers.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, readers are big pussies.
Okay, I remember back in. All right, so I think referencing from the. So I'm gonna stab myself in the foot right now by referencing something from the Spider-Man clone saga. But back in the day, there were many problems with Marvel, namely that the advertising department had taken over the company. But here's the thing: the advertising department had taken over the company. So there was a hell of a lot of promotion. You had like advertisements for other books in every book you would read. There was Wizard Magazine, which in addition to articles was basically nothing but, hey, you should go read this book. You should go read this book. And that got people excited for comics. It got people reading. Advertise, and then back them up with good stories, or at least fun stories. At least stories that serve the purpose of being a fun comic book story, kind of like the Tremors series. Kind of like how Tremors is water. Do you want to explain that reference? You made it earlier before we started recording.
Okay. I made a reference that Tremors is so successful because it is the water of, well, just cinema. Where anybody could go to Tremors nowadays. Like, the first movie is so old that the graphics aren't eye-bite enough to make people, like, go, oh, man, that's a grotesque, violent movie. No, now it's like PG-13 constantly. Mostly because they say fuck. Then someone will say shit, and then that'll be it. Like that's where it got the PG-13. The rest of it's PG violence. Because they're blowing up monsters nowadays. They rarely kill a human on camera in a grotesque way like they did in the first movie.
So you're just saying that Tremors just isn't bloody enough?
It lacks the gore. Everybody needs good old solid gore. But it also lacks the substance that makes a good horror. Because we have a lot of shock horror out there. Like, I think Jeepers Creepers even made itself a PG-13 rating. Might have been R, but it could have dropped by now. Like, that's what they need to do, is show the re-rating of movies over time. And that's how we know we're slipping as a society. Like, society's degrading. Carrie is now rated PG-13.
Well, I think it's just because, like, the kind of the violence of yesteryear is kind of quaint by today's standards.
Well, it's because nowadays people are like, oh, that's practically cartoony level violence. Or they're like, oh, man, you can see the wires and stuff like that. Little kids don't notice wires. Like, horror movies still hit kids plenty.
Yeah.
People concepts are more loose and unbound. Now, eventually you get those kids nice and lost of all that stigma because you keep showing them horror movies until they're disconnected little psychos. And then, yeah, they'll be okay with watching the highest definition.
You cut out a little bit there.
Oh, I was talking about how kids are still scared of horror movies. Which part did I cut out in?
Well, it was kind of in and out. It was like there was a little bit I missed early on, but it was like I think you were talking about how like kid like horror still resonates with children.
Then obviously this is pirate radio because I'm communicating by ham radio because I have the shittiest internet on the face of the planet everywhere I go.
Basically, I am actually recording from a pirate ship. It should be noticed that. An old-fashioned pirate ship. I can't
to
get
avoid the censors, which will eventually.
Oh, you cut out again. Malmodo, no. Hold on, folks.
Imaginations to still see it in the
really bad this time. You were gone for like a good 30 seconds.
Oh man, all that.
Yeah, because that's how shitty we are. Because I'm recording from a pirate ship. I have
recording from inside my ass.
I'm using Alexander Graham Bell's like freaking record player to teletype in order to record things.
You stole the phone out of the museum, but no one really cares because it's just a telephone.
It's really hard to be an old-fashioned pirate in modern times. I mean, it's...
No, it's not. Well, not old-fashioned, new-fashioned.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
New-fashioned pirate.
Nobody wants to go looking for gold treasure anymore. I just get all these weird, crazy Somali guys who want to like shoot people. And
oh, dude, there's a treasure that's still out there in Colorado. I think a guy made a riddle at everything. It's hidden out in a trail.
Oh, okay.
That would be on dry land. It'd suck.
Yeah, I can't sail to that.
You just get a boat car. Ride the fucker over.
It's no fun. But yeah.
The modern world is a dearth of fun.
The dearth of everything's been discovered. Everything's been explored.
Well, that's why imagination's so important. That's why it's so important to play shit like D&D.
Exactly.
People have become, I guess, just sitting there in a high chair waiting for the spoon.
Yeah.
Like the industry comes along, it's like, oh, this is your meal today. It's crushed peas. I know you don't like crushed peas because you're a feminist or you're a sexist, misogynist, so you aren't going to enjoy our crushed peas of The Last Jedi. And you're like, no, it's just fucking nasty. Mm-hmm. Give me some real fucking food. I'll eat peas.
Yeah.
Peas don't bother me.
I mean, George Lucas got me a pizza. I mean, and then he got me, like, a pizza with, like, olives on it. I don't really like olives all that much, so... I mean,
yeah, definitely olives on some of them.
Those three pizzas with olives weren't that good, but, it was still a pizza.
The original set of pizzas were great.
Kathleen Kennedy keeps on shitting on her pizza, and it's,
She's trying to give us... She cuts the pizza with shitty hands. It keeps trying to give it to us. She wipes... She uses the Durka paper.
she put cilantro on it. It was. I think she took her cooking tips from Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. It was just like, this is wrong. You don't put this on a pizza.
Nah. Man, like, pizza's something people would probably get violent over. Like, if there was a president that said no more pizza, like, somehow they found out pizza was funding Al-Qaeda, or some weird shit where it's like every dollar of pizza leads to the destruction of the U.S.
That's what we need to do to get Trump impeached.
There'd be fucking, like... underground pizzerias, like the 1940s. Like, there'd be people sitting around being like, listen, I smuggled in this... I made this pepperoni in my tub.
No, he would be impeached yesterday if he tried to get rid of pizza. It's like, that's where America draws the line.
Like, that. If I was a president and that was my April Fool's joke, I'd probably be assassinated by 8 p.m.
Well, they would probably actually just laugh it off. It's just like, it's just April Fool's. Pizza's still...
Then you laugh and keep going to the next day, and people are like, what?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't put it past Trump to try to make pizza illegal or something that stupid, because it's like, it's not even a joke with him.
Trump would never make pizza illegal. You can't even begin to make that joke, because it just doesn't make sense. The man is fat.
He's so healthy. And he's such a health nut.
Oh, yeah, dude. His doctor said this man's going to live for, like, forever.
Yeah,
Not like he will, because he's super rich. They'll just give him every single fucking robot heart they can.
That's how you know. That's why cyborgs are evil. It's because it's like, it's only the evil people that...
Bring me into, like, fucking political conversation and start talking about Xi-Ping. And we're going to be like...
DC Comics! DC! Focus!
Yeah, then you don't bring up Trump.
You brought up...
This is you.
This is somehow your fault.
So, DC Comics. So we're going to go through this proper. Okay. So DC Comics has made good shit. If you're a a new but critical viewer of DC, you might think, they ain't got no good shit. It's like, wrong. They had good shit. And that's why they got where they are. And now they're just continuing to make bad shit because The Dark Knight was successful because of its grim, dark nature. Mm-hmm. Now, what they should have gone for was the darkness that they used inside of the movie that I want Eddie to see here. Man. Mask of the Phantasm, which is probably one of the pinnacle Batman movies, as we said before.
Yeah.
And the reason why is something you can't explain. It's Gotham, as it's envisioned inside of the comic book series, which is this seemingly detached from normal times city. Like, it's back in the 1960s at most. Like, it's just got this old feel to it, and it's fine, because Batman doesn't need to be living on the bleeding fucking edge of technology, because then it starts making Batman look kind of like he has to be Robo-Batman and shit like that.
Which has happened in various
forms. I know. He made the suit to kill or beat up Superman.
Well, you know,
because Superman's a bitch.
All they needed to do was figure out that they had their mother had the same name. That's all they needed. That's all.
Oh no, I'm talking about other movies. There's an animated Death of Superman, which is still kind of schlocky and bad. It's more.
I'm not opposed to Batman having mech armor. It seems like it's the type of thing which would make sense for him.
Yeah, it's the thing that's required of him. But if it's 1960s Batman, you're like, no, that's not necessary. Guns don't fire at a rate of 1,000 bullets a minute.
Yeah, they do.
Well, back then, yeah, but you'd have to get like a full-on Tommy. And they have guys with Tommy guns.
Yeah.
Like, if you could see a Tommy gun, like, out of nowhere, Batman started dodging lasers. Remember that? In the animated series, he's up there fucking getting shot at, and he's rolling away from gunfire, and then, like, out of nowhere, he has the world's strongest, and everybody's got fucking laser guns.
Yeah. Well, it's, I don't know, it's a thing where...
Guns can't be shown. Censorship.
No, I wouldn't even go that far. It's just, it's like, okay, there's a style aspect to a Batman story that kind of has this sort of it kind of stems from like his origins in like the 30s and the 40s, and this kind of dark, you know, pre-World War II sort of Depression era sort of kind of like Chicago. It has that kind of unique style that's always been.
But it made him like a bit more unique because the technology was older. So the cartoon has a real energy to it, like Gotham the series does.
Okay.
Because you can't have all the crazy fucking blowing up ferries with radio-controlled phone bombs and shit like they had in the movies. Because when in the movies, people are like me, and you go, a phone can't fucking echolocate. Like, Batman gets fucking echolocation phone device shit, and I'm like, nah. For one, hell, reception would make that hell.
I didn't mind that. And actually, that whole echolocation thing is one of my favorite things to talk about in terms of The Dark Knight, because it's like it spawned this controversy which I thought was stupid, and yet kind of.
There was actual controversy that they implied in the movie because they wanted to make a controversy, though there was none.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is the type of thing where if we were talking about the Adam West Batman, and if you take this general story, but like move it and put it in the Adam West series, and Bruce Wayne had made some kind of device like that, the response would have been, "Oh, that was a brilliant idea, Batman. Good job. You really stopped the Joker and saved the day because of that." But no, in our fucking post 9/11 world, we gotta make some bullshit.
Individual freedom, even. It was Fox just being a dick when you think about it. Fox is like, I don't want you to have this technology.
This is wrong. It's like, okay, then you... All right, Morgan Freeman, you find the fucking maniac that's going to blow up the city. Fine.
Here's... You can use all the bat stuff. Here's the bat tank. Don't shoot anybody, by the way. Don't kill anyone. Then out of nowhere, Batman's fucking blowing everybody away.
Yeah.
He's just on the side of the street. Give me that dick.
Oh, no, that's the Batman we want, right? The Ben Affleck Batman who's just fucking killing people and launching...
is what they call him.
Crate, 5-ton crates at people.
Everything.
That's clearly...
I was watching Red Letter Media talk about it on one of their fake nerd shows.
Yeah.
Guys are amazing. If you're not watching them, you should take a moment to get a laugh out of them.
Yeah.
I always... But, Wonderful group. But nonetheless, so Batman is got the gun, the Batfleck.
Yeah.
I don't know why Batfleck. I don't know why Ben Affleck would be like, yeah, this is great, because he's a comic book aficionado, isn't he? Or is it just Matt Damon?
Well, him and Kevin Smith are friends, and he's supposed to be. That's the story. But like that. Part of the reason why he wanted to be Batman in the first place was because he's a comic book fan, and of course now he wants out. It's the type of thing I don't think you can. It's the type of thing you can't really comment about.
Frank Miller Batman wasn't even killing people.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the version. It's like, eventually his Batman started killing people. It's he.
I didn't know that.
I'm trying to think. Okay, let me. All right, we had the Dark Knight. Yeah, we had the Dark Knight Returns, where I don't know. I think he was nonviolent. He was. It's not. No. Okay, he was a badass in the Dark Knight Returns, where he was beating the fuck out of people. But I think like Joker killed himself in that story. And he beat the crap out of Superman to the point where he beat him, but he didn't kill him. He more or less, he was kind of more hardcore in that, but he was still using like the Bat Tank was using rubber bullets. He
also had the Bat armor in that one.
Yeah, I think like his villain, some of the villains his villains got killed, but he didn't do the killing. It was like, but then you go to The Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is a terrible, horrible piece of shit, where Frank finally lost his goddamn mind. And yeah, I think he was killing people at that one, or he was relishing in, like, I think Hawkman and Hawkgirl like killed Lex Luthor, and he's like, oh, great job, kids, you did. He's like, he didn't actually kill Luthor, but like he's like giving him the thumbs up for doing it. And then you have the goddamn Batman, which is according to Frank, the goddamn Batman, according to Frank, is the same Batman from The Dark Knight Returns. So Frank has, by virtue of being Frank, gone back and ruined one of the best Batman stories of all time by basically saying it's in canon with this other thing that other people are not feeling. And that Batman straight up kills people. That Batman abducts teenagers. That Batman has sex with Black Canary on a rooftop, like, after they beat the fuck out of people. It's just, to quote Frank, he's shameless. He writes what he likes. It's not necessarily true to the character. It's a little frustrating because that also he was one of the people that wrote the crossover between Batman and Spawn. And in the 90s when that happened, as a kid reading this, I was thinking like, oh, this is cool. Batman and Spawn are going to meet. But the thing is, what Frank didn't bother to tell anybody is, oh, this isn't your Batman. This is my crazy Batman. This is my crazy bullshit Batman that is he was writing All-Star Batman and Robin, that same character. In this crossover, and just didn't tell anybody. And it's like, and so it's annoying because it's like, okay, I kind of wanted just my Batman to be dealing with Spawn. And it's noticeable because he's an asshole. It's like, you really feel bad for Al Simmons. It's like, say what you want about Al Simmons. Say what you want about how violent his character is. Say what you want about how he's a damned soul. He's straight from hell, and how, like, part of the problem is of his anger and his propensity to kill his enemies, which just gives Malbolgia more minions than hell to use. Say what you will, Batman was a total freaking asshole to him in that book. He was like calling him a punk. He was talking all sorts of kind of trash. One of the more famous things that stayed with Spawn was he threw a batarang right into his face and cut his face in two. And like so, as to not use his magical powers to heal himself, Spawn took a shoelace and just sewed his face together with it. And for the longest time, Spawn's face was like that. And that was because of Batman. But it's like, Batman seems genuinely out of character in that book. And the reason why is because Frank was writing it. And Frank was just doing his own thing. Frank's one of those guys. He's one of those crazy geniuses who's just off the rails on his own sometimes.
Well, I mean, they have others like Alan Moore, but Alan Moore does it better.
Your mileage may vary. I mean, he's a good writer. My problem with Alan Moore is like he'll write relatively brilliant stuff, but then he doesn't take any responsibility for it. He's made numerous complaints about how Hollywood has been mishandling his properties. But he abjectly refuses to take any legal action about it. He doesn't come in and say, no, you can't do that. He accepts the paycheck that they would give him regardless, but then he'll complain about it. And it's like, and that's really freaking annoying. It's just like,
he's a diva.
He's a diva. Yeah, there was an incident with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen where some asshole, some crazy idiot saw the movie League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and then tried to take Alan Moore to court Well, he did. He took Alan Moore to court, claiming that Alan Moore had plagiarized an idea that he had about how to make a movie. And it's like, and this guy's a crazy nut who has no idea that this thing was based off of a comic book that was a long-running comic that he had the copyright for the longest time. And the guy took Alan Moore to court, so Alan Moore had to fly all the way to the United States. He had to go to court and listen to this guy, and this guy basically makes an ass of himself and goes on, "Oh, I had this idea about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Invisible Man teaming up, and I had this whole thing where it's some crazy guy who hasn't actually published anything." And then they just showed, yeah, he has the copyright for this. He's done a comic book for years and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, no. You can't. The guy dismissed it. But here's the thing: it is a ridiculous situation, and it does seem like it was a nuisance and it was an annoyance to be a part of. Alan Moore talks about it like it's the worst thing that ever happened to him in his entire life. Like, oh, I had to. Yes, God forbid you had to come around and stand up for your property, Alan.
And to be in America, that's the worst part.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, for God forbid we took him out of his hollow tree for a minute while he was worshiping a snake and drinking. God forbid we disturb Merlin. Jesus Christ. I love Alan, but he acts like a diva about this stuff. And he also, like, he's been talking trash about, like, the Marvel stuff. He was talking trash about Avengers and all the stuff. Like, oh, America's got an addiction to superhero things. And it sounds very much like he's just complaining that nobody's reading his books. I'm sorry, Alan. You're writing porn right now. It's very well written porn, but you're writing porn.
He's got a new reader.
I'm sorry, if you're writing porn, you don't really have a real right to criticize us for enjoying superhero stuff. If you were writing more superhero shit, like we normally would, we'd probably freaking, like, pay more attention, Alan. And again, Alan's weird too, because he'll write things like, you know, some crazy dinosaur crossover, or he'll work with, like, Rob Liefeld every 5 seconds, and it's like, Alan, honey, shut up. He will open his mouth and make a fool of himself. He's a brilliant writer. I will continue to argue this day that Watchmen is one of the most brilliant comic books ever written. He's done great work, but it's like, yeah, the guy's kind of full of shit at times.
You know what? This brings us full circle. DC's going to drag that through the mud.
They've been dragging it through the mud. Watchmen's the fun. No, Watchmen is the most hilarious thing to watch DC use, because that always gets him angry. It's like, if you want to see him come out of his tree and go, Gandalf means me, that's the first thing you need to do. It's like, oh, we're doing something else with Watchmen. Hey, Alan, guess what? We're doing something with Watchmen. That's the hot button. That's his trigger.
That's one of his legacies.
Yeah, but it's like, and again, that's another example of Alan Moore being full of shit, because Alan Moore's, like, when the Watchmen movie was made by Zack Snyder, Alan's whole response to that was, Watchmen should not be a comic. Wait, no, it should be a comic. Watchmen should not be a movie. It should never be a movie. It should be a comic book that you should sit and enjoy by the fire. That's all it's meant to be. And that's what, when Warner Brothers approached him and said, we want to make this new movie, that's what he said. And it's like, and then so they're like, well, do you want us to not make
his hand for a paycheck?
What's that?
Then he held out his hand for the paycheck.
Basically. That's basically what happened. He basically said, it's like, oh, it shouldn't, it's you.
He acted like he always acts before he expects it to go wrong. And then they did justice, and in my opinion, the ending is better. I'm sorry, the stupid fucking space alien ending? No, that doesn't work well enough for me. The other ending, where they blame Dr. Manhattan, so Manhattan has another reason to leave the planet? Yes.
No, I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. You're in fucking space on that one, sir.
Nah.
No, it was worse than that. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to make a point. It was worse than that. It was worse than the holding out the check. Because it was essentially what happened was that he basically, they asked him, can we make a movie based off of your property? And he basically lectured them and said, you shouldn't do this. And then they asked, well, are you going to stop us from, do you not want us to do that? And he's like, I'm not saying you can't make it. I'm not going to stop you from making it. I'm saying you shouldn't do it. Meaning, Alan Moore tried to guilt-trip Hollywood into doing the right thing. He expected Hollywood to, out of the goodness of their hearts, do the right thing and not make that into a movie. And of course, he took the check as a result. Now, as for you be like, oh, it should have been Dr. Manhattan. No, fucker. Again, to lend credence.
Why did he leave?
To lend credence to Alan Moore's statement that this should be a comic book first. That's the thing. Everything builds up to that squid. Everything is it's a novel. You are reading a book. Everything about Ozymandias' plan is very intricate and very detailed, and kind of the way that you can only really process through a comic book or a novel. No,
it's pretty easy to process.
But that's what it builds up to that. It's very,
it also doesn't have you randomly cutting away to these doctors on an island, fucking around with squids and psychics.
It's all built up, and as a result, then it makes other things not make sense. It doesn't make the why is Bubastis in the movie? Why is Bubastis there?
Because he has
No, that's bullshit. Bubastis is there is because he's been working on genetic engineering. He's been building this plan for a long time. He's crafted it. He's perfected it to the point where
Isn't that like part of his industry anyways? Like early on in the movie, they established that he's a runaway genius philanthropist businessman.
Yeah, but that's the thing. One of the things he specializes in is genetic engineering. That's why he was able to create this giant
But
purple
they
lynx.
mentioned that, so that's why he has Bubastis.
Yeah, but it ties into the fact that there's the squid, that he can build the
So
squid.
it's explained adequately.
But at the same time, the other problem with us trying to fight Dr. Manhattan is that that doesn't really work well. It kind of works. You can kind of see it as like, he's uniting everybody against Dr. Manhattan. He's already kind of like...
He really becomes like a deific figure. He's gone. He's not there, but everybody's still walking around looking up at the sky with a little bit of fear.
But how's that going to stop the fucking Cold War?
That's enough.
No, it's not.
Everybody's afraid of the man that fucking turns people into meat.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What happened was they united the world against Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's not that... yeah, but that's the thing. How are we going to stop Dr. Manhattan?
By building up military.
No, there's no stopping Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan is a god. That's why it had to be. That's why it had to be aliens.
They also
it had to be some unknown force that we were unprepared for, that we would need to unite the world against. That's why they set it up as aliens. That's what it's there for. We're not gonna... no. You know who tried fighting Dr. Manhattan? The Vietnamese. You know what they did? They surrendered. We're not beating Dr. Manhattan. The actual proper DC characters had problems dealing with Dr. Manhattan recently. And so it doesn't... they did it to kind of simplify it because they thought people wouldn't buy it. And as a result, it's one of those things that you can actually always point to out this movie that this is something they got wrong. It's like, this movie was good. It could have been
the same thing. However, I don't think they got that incredibly wrong, because while I understand your conviction that it has to be aliens, and yeah, it would be a lot longer lasting,
yeah,
the idea that Dr. Manhattan's playing Santa Claus isn't that far-fetched.
Playing Santa Claus?
Just making a list, checking it twice. Gonna pop whoever's naughty.
That's the Krampus. Santa Claus doesn't nuke your city.
No, but Santa Claus watches you all the time, too.
It's Santa Claus, not the Krampus. You're getting the wrong Christmas.
Krampus is only relevant to Germans. They're the only people that believe that there is nothing good ever.
Dr. Manhattan is not going to send you to hell for not... no.
It's going to pop you like a pimple.
This is a poor metaphor.
What? How?
I disagree. Dr. Manhattan is not the Krampus.
Leave a comment. Hashtag not the Krampus.
Hashtag not the Krampus, yes. Alright. So that's why DC Comics sucks.
More like Santa.
So we've tangented again. So this is
But no, we're staying on the topic, which is generally, man, have you heard of how DC sucks? No, regale me in the suck.
Let's regale in the suck.
The Zuck.
Again, it's this cynical attitude where basically Warner Brothers wants Marvel's success, and they don't want to do the work in order to actually get there. I think that's what it really boils down to. Whereas everything that's built, the reason people love Superman and love Batman and love Wonder Woman and love the classic DC characters is because of works of previous people that have done this and set this up and are still trying. They're still, again, they finally have gotten comics.
Get back on your expanded multiverse problems.
We finally got the comics back on track, and then they hired Zoe Quinn, which, okay, that's a step backwards. But they finally got the comic books back on track, more or less, including making fun of Marvel's little SJW problem. The TV shows are still good. They're still good DC stuff out there. People want these to be good, and it's a movie. A movie is like a celebration. If I'm waiting around for years for a fucking Superman movie, you shouldn't do something retarded in it that makes me have a problem with the fact that I see Superman snap some dude's neck in it. You shouldn't give me 9/11 flashbacks in my Superman film.
Well, Superman can kill people. He's not Bruce Wayne.
They're not. None of them are supposed to. That's the thing. It's like Superman's not supposed to kill people. Batman's not supposed to.
Superman doesn't want to kill anybody. That's true. That's why he was so crazy inside of Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
In Kingdom Come, the metahumans were all over the place. They had their warlog. They found out it wasn't the right way either. It's just essentially stop fucking caring about what your neighbor's doing is the message of that one.
Well, the real issue of superhero morality and the way this kind of boils down to is for like Superman, it's the fact that he doesn't have to kill. He's so powerful. He genuinely is a protector. He loves humanity. He doesn't want to hurt people, and he's powerful enough that he doesn't have to. He can stop a robber by like,
snapping your neck.
No.
Yes.
No. Fuck you.
That's the answer to every crime that he commits. Uh-oh, that man's stealing it from another man. Snaps his neck.
No.
Now he's not.
That is basically Man of Steel Superman, which is what I want to get away from. I don't want... that's not what...
Everybody's neck was getting snapped. Because, Superman can snap some necks really quick,
Yeah, he can. Yeah. But he shouldn't. He shouldn't. He's powerful enough where he can stop his enemies without killing them. And what you're supposed to do in a movie is eventually you confront him with a threat that's so powerful that either he has no choice but to kill them, or he's like, oh, you're Darkseid. You're an evil piece of shit, and you're insanely powerful, and you're going to threaten to destroy all of humanity. I don't have to hold back on you. And that's when Superman gets scary, and that's when Superman is awesome. That's reserved for your Mongols, your Doomsdays, and more importantly, your Darkseids. Your Darkseid is when you do that. Batman, he doesn't kill because he cannot bear the thought of making of another little boy going without his parents. So he actually puts himself in more harm's way by not killing and avoiding killing people. He actually makes it harder on himself because he doesn't have the protection of having superpowers like Superman does.
He's just got super money.
He's got super money, but also the thing is though, both of them can be lethal at any moment as a result. And then you got people like Wonder Woman, where Wonder Woman, it doesn't really have qualms against killing. It's like a standard superhero attitude is like just being a good person. Like, let's not kill them if we don't have to. But
Wonder Woman's up there fucking cutting their throats open. And the reason why the public was okay with it is because they're Nazis.
Well, Wonder Woman. That wasn't even Nazis. Those were, those were World War I Germans.
It was World War I Germans?
Those were World War I Germans. Nazis? Yes, it's World War I Germans. They're not Nazis yet.
I think they're fighting Nazis. That makes it less.
Well, she's fought Nazis before. That's not the point. The point is, Wonder Woman is from a warrior culture. She's an Amazon. So when it comes to killing, yeah, she'll do it. She'll fucking do it. One of the best moments in Infinite Crisis, or like the countdown to Infinite Crisis, was she killed Maxwell. She snapped Maxwell Lord's necks. She will snap necks. She'll do it. In order to save Superman and stop Superman from being mind controlled and being a weapon of this son of a bitch, she fucking killed his ass. Okay. Yeah, Wonder Woman will do that. Wonder Woman will go
allowed to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, let's going to Marvel. Like Marvel again,
whereas a man can't kill people because that is just too easy for a man. I get it. Because Wonder Woman's weak. She has to murder people.
Stop bringing third wave feminism into this.
What?
Stop it. Stop. I didn't know. We're not... Why?
No. You said that because Superman is so strong, he can get away with not being a murderer.
No, it's not. That's not the...
Obviously, her weakness has to murder people.
Putting words in my mouth. Thank you,
No,
Anita.
it's okay, Eddie. I know what you're talking about.
Thanks, Anita. Thanks, Anita Sarkeesian. Thanks for putting words in my mouth.
Y gene. Excuse me, Y chromosome.
It's something called writing, Anita Sarkeesian, something that you and third wave feminists don't understand. The reason why it's okay for Wonder Woman to kill and Superman to kill is because they have a different upbringing, a different cultural background. Superman is
So she's a savage because she was raised by women.
No, she's an Amazon. Amazons are a warrior culture.
Warrior culture, really?
Yeah, they train you, kill your enemy.
Isn't that what savages do?
If Superman were a Klingon, it would be okay for him to frickin' snap Zod's neck. But he probably wouldn't snap Zod's neck. He would probably decapitate him with a bat. What?
So Superman is the ultimate castrated god. He could do whatever he wants. He's beyond reproach by most mortal beings. Like, frankly, if Superman wanted to kill Batman, Superman killed Batman. There's no instance where Batman's like, I put on my kryptonite ring. No, Superman
that would stop him. That would actually stop him. The kryptonite ring.
No, he would just throw the fucking Earth into the sun.
Then that wouldn't be Superman. That would be some other. That would be some other.
That's what I'm talking about. If Superman wanted to kill him, it definitely wouldn't be Superman. It'd be Clark or Kal-El wanting to kill Batman, and it would happen. It'd be instant.
See, this is the type of writing that is done by 5-year-olds who write Superman,
What I would do,
or
because
Warner Brothers executives.
Jerking off to Batman, being like, "Oh, Batman's so great, he could take out Superman." They never actually think about speed.
You just don't like
slow motion guys.
You just don't like fanboys of Batman. That's all this is.
I don't like fanboys of anything.
That's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing fuck fanboys, which I agree with.
Just leaks from my mouth.
Yeah.
Like a virulent drool.
Batman fanboys are obnoxious because Batman can never be beaten. Batman can breathe in space. What?
That's all, guys. I'm leaking rabies out the face.
Now,
and my rabies tell me that no, it's not just that. It's like literally the amount of time it takes Superman to do stuff. Bruce Wayne could not react as a living creature.
And yet he's been able to beat him before.
Yeah, because he wasn't trying to kill him.
Well, no, it's not a matter of that. The reason Batman's able to beat Superman is because Batman can beat anybody the second time he's encountered someone, or if he's got preparations for it. So it's really, in terms of a last man standing, it's still kind of like, yeah, in terms of raw power, Superman's got it. Superman can definitely kill Batman, but it's not necessarily so easy because Batman is ready for him.
Incredibly easy, because Clark is going to fight him the right way. And he's going to deal with the kryptonite in his fucking lungs to make a point to Bruce that he's strong enough to put him down. And Bruce is going to contend with it at the cost of, local buildings that somehow people don't notice were bought up by the Bruce Wayne group.
The thing is, though, that kryptonite in his lungs it doesn't matter, in terms of him trying to make a point, that will stop him. That will, even just pushing on, it's like, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to keep fighting you. It's like, the moment that gets anywhere near him.
Instant black lung for him, though. Imagine the first time they used the kryptonite on him, thinking it wouldn't kill him to do inhaled kryptonite, he just dies. Like, Batman kills Superman right there on the spot.
You basically could kill Superman that way, with kryptonite gas.
Yeah,
you could do that.
Yeah. I'm saying, he does. That'd be hilarious, because he doesn't know Kryptonian, much less adverse reactions of sunlight Kryptonians to their radioactive planet, which is, by the way, fucking weird. He could kill Superman right there on the spot by accident. He could be like, yes, this will slow him down and teach Clark that I am right. Nope, fucking kills Clark on the spot. It's like shot into a guy that's allergic to peanuts mortally into a bag of peanuts, or a barrel of peanuts. He goes to anaphylaxis right there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's essentially what it is. Kryptonite is peanuts. It's anaphylactic peanut pellet.
Anaphylaxis is a mortal thing, man. You will die.
Yeah, that's the thing. That will kill him. That will straight up kill him. So it's like,
I know it'll straight up kill him, but it should kill him quickly. There's people that are allergic to stuff out here that die within 20 minutes exposure.
Yeah.
No, and it's not like, oh, we're going to give Superman some fucking, what is it? It's epinephrine. We're going to give Superman some epinephrine to open up his lungs. Sorry, they're already filled with kryptonite. He dies.
Pretty much.
See, that would have been hilarious if he just killed Superman out the gate.
See, the other problem is, too, Superman is also kind of immune to a lot of modern medical practices, so the epinephrine's not going to work.
Oh, yeah, the needle going, denting.
You need super epinephrine.
You need a kryptonite needle to get it to the skin. They were talking about all this stupid shit they were doing to treat Superman in one of the comics, or one of the episodes of JLA, I think. They said they'd be like, oh, we gotta use a kryptonite needle. It's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Say it again?
They'd use a kryptonite needle on Superman because of his skin being so tough.
You keep cutting out at the end.
So they had to use a kryptonite needle on Superman because his skin was so tough.
Yes. That is true. But, back to hero morality. If we were to go to Marvel, standard Marvel characters kind of try to avoid killing just because it's wrong, so they try to not kill. But something happens.
They're more like regular dudes.
They're more like regular dudes. Spider-Man's like, yo, you need to kill Dr. Octopus. It's like, I don't want to kill him. I want to arrest him. It's like,
Dr. Octopus.
But it depends, and there's certain, Captain America will kill if he has to save other people's lives. One of my favorite moments is when he's fighting Baron Blood, who's a Nazi vampire, which is a pretty awesome thing. And he was having this awesome fight with him, and the thing is, it's like he's, I think the rules were that, he can fight during the daytime, but he gets more powerful at night. And they were fighting, and Captain America wasn't able to bring him down. And then the sun started going down, and he realized, The moment nighttime comes around, he's going to become more powerful. I won't be able to stop him, and there's civilians nearby. So Cap sees the opportunity, like rammed him, knocked him to the ground, and decapitated him with his shield. And it's like, he did what he had to do. And then you have Wolverine, who gives no fucks. You have Wolverine and the Punisher, who doesn't give a shit.
For now?
What?
Dead for good or dead for now?
I don't know.
You think they'd ever kill off Baron Blood for good?
I think he might still be dead. I don't know. Like now, Marvel does have a revolving door around their afterlife, so I mean, it's not. I'm not sure, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure whether or not Baron Blood is alive again or not. That's the thing with Marvel. Marvel is like, are they still dead? Or have they come back yet? It's like it's always a matter of they'll come back.
They're gonna bring back Baron Blood.
They'll probably will.
They're like, man. So that's what we need is another Nazi vampire.
Now, with Wolverine and Punisher, it's a matter of, like, they give no... Like, I think with Wolverine, he tries to... It's a matter of him trying to avoid killing, because he doesn't want to be just a mindless animal. But,
Wolverine probably has got every disease.
No, his body cures it.
Heals disease. Like, I've got AIDS. Everybody else can cure themselves of AIDS if their body healed as fast as mine.
His healing factor cures himself. If he got AIDS, his healing factor would take care of it.
Well, there's like all that blood from the open holes at the end of his hands.
Yeah, but he's immune to AIDS. Immune to AIDS.
It's just your imagination. Like, they go and get Wolverine tested finally, and they're like, Jesus Christ.
All right.
I just before you.
So according to this, according to Wikipedia, the first Baron Blood was John Falsworth, and
the reincarnations.
During the opening salvo part of the Secret Empire storyline, Baron Blood is recruited by Baron Helmut Zemo to join the Army of Evil. So he might be back. Hold on. Okay. So the older Falsworth requests the aid of Captain America, who, with the third version of Union Jack, battles Blood for being tricked into thinking that Union Jack was his older brother, James. Blood is decapitated with Captain America's shield. Character's body is burned to ashes, with the ashes scattered. Then he returns in Avengers Standoff storyline as an inmate of the Pleasant Hill, a gated community established by S.H.I.E.L.D. And during the opening salvo part of the Secret Empire storyline, Baron Blood is recruited by Baron Helmut Zemo to join the Army of Evil. So apparently he is back. I don't know how he came back to life, but he did come back to life, and he was involved in the Secret Empire storyline, which is a steaming pile of shit and should never be spoken of again. So, yeah, that's where Captain America became a Nazi. Because Nick Spencer's a piece of shit.
Oh.
But there's also several other versions of...
Oh, wait, is that the one where I see him saying Hail Hydra?
Yeah, that, like, you remember how Hail Hydra was so awesome after, like, Captain America Winter Soldier? It was so fun to say that, and then that shitty storyline came out, and then it's not fun anymore. That's the moment Marvel Comics, the comics, started to suck. That is the moment where the comics started fucking going crazy, and that's how we got to SJW Marvel, which hopefully we'll eventually get out of. They're working to get rid of it. They're starting to bring back the old characters, so, you know. But there's two other Baron Bloods. There's a Victor Strange and Kenneth Crichton. Yeah, which I think Doctor Strange became. It sounds like Doctor Strange became like Baron Blood for a minute.
Weird. All right, be right back. I gotta.
But we're shooting.
Casserole in a cup.
What are you doing?
Getting more casserole in a cup.
All right, we're gonna take a break here because my co-host has no sense of showmanship. All right, hold on, folks. And we're back. You have your casserole?
Yeah.
Have your casserole
in a cup.
Yeah. You feel proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Making me do more work?
I hope you enjoy that 15 minutes of editing.
God damn it. All right, anyway, yeah, I think the main thing to be said about DC Comics is that it's like they're again, they want that success that Marvel has. And but they have no appreciation for the property they've had. It's the problem Warner Brothers has consistently had with its property. They don't care. They're just a soulless corporation. You can kind of say this about everybody right now, but it blatantly shows with them. They don't care. They're assholes. They're stupid, and they're greedy. And it's the shame of it all is if they were just a little smarter, we would be throwing money at them. I would take all my money, put it in a potato gun, and shoot it at their heads. And it's just like, here, take my money. Take more money so I can watch your movie. All you got to do is be respectful to the fans and and give them what they want, and instead of just trying to guess or like they have this attitude that we know.
We're trying to give them what they want with like the Dark Knight continuing to be darker and grittier because they're like, people want dark and gritty, and it's like, what? Did you poll a single person after this, or did you just talk to one of your producer friends?
That's basically what it boils down to. It's like, no, we like good stories. We like comic books and comic book superheroes. We want our movies to reflect that. All you have to do is make it like the comics and make it good, and we'll come in droves. And they refuse to do that. They do everything but...
A lot of failures in the past.
And now they think...
modern, but like movies, comic book movies have been like only recently successful, if you think about it.
So are we making excuses for these fuckers that it's like oh, they don't have a whole lot
of... Adam West Batman, the original one, probably was not well received movie-wise. And then from there you had, like, you know, The Return with some Hulks and all these other things, but they weren't doing fantastic up until Iron Man came out, because, gotta admit, it wasn't just the love.
I mean, do we really want to go there? Do we really want to start judging the past, like, success?
I'm just saying that there's been a longer history of comic book movies not doing well than there has been of them successful.
But you could say that about anything. You could say that about fantasy movies too. Like back in the day, like all we had was Conan the Barbarian and maybe the Beastmaster. It's like, you know, I think it's only recently that basically people have been kind of it's become respectable. But even then, it's more of it's not a matter of like it can still be good, and there's still these things that people enjoy and appreciate. You can. On top of that, it's like it's gone in and out. I think a lot of time has not necessarily been dedicated.
In and out, Eddie? Really?
And a lot of times it hasn't been dedicated. Well, let's take a look. I'm looking up the movie right now, as a matter of fact.
So, you going in and out on me?
I'm going to Wikipedia to see how well this movie did. Batman 1966, the Adam West Batman movie. So reception. Let's take a look. The film received generally positive reviews over the years. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an 80% rating based on 30 reviews with an average rating of 6.2 out of 10. Site consensus states Batman the movie elevates camp to an art form and had blast doing it, even gloriously tongue-in-cheek every inch of the way. Trying to look for like how it did at the box office, basically. It premiered Paramount Theater, Austin, Texas, July 30th, 1966. It was moderately successful at the box office. Batboat featured in the film was created. Yeah, like that movie is actually positively remembered. The 1966 Batman movie and the Adam West Batman TV series actually, you know, set the public's consciousness of what Batman was about, which was a problem for comic book fans.
But then you had Batman Return for literally the Tim Burton movies, and then after that, whoever else put nipples on the costume.
Joel Schumacher.
Yeah,
like people like that movie. That movie did well. It's not a, you know, it's not a matter of
did well.
Like in the 80s, it was a drought. In the 80s and the early 90s, it was like we had Batman and that's it. And the old Superman movies. That's about all we had. It took a while before, like, you know, it took a while before us to.
We start doing bad.
But even then, people liked the Hulk movie. They liked that stuff. We kind of appreciated what we got because we never thought we would see
like the weird one with the absorbing man.
No, I'm talking about before that. I'm talking about like the
Lou
Ferrigno Hulk. Yes.
There was a movie for that.
Yeah, he had a bunch of movies. Yeah, that was like he had I think at least 3. The third one is the worst one. It's the one where Thor's in it. But even then, it's like it was just kind of campy and fun for what it was. There was, I think, Eric Allen Kramer played Thor in that. Yeah, but people love that stuff. It was kind of like we didn't have anything on the level of like.
It's not that superhero movies are doing well now. They've always had a general like receptive uptake. Before there was some sort of fatigue.
They were not a phenomenon like they are now. But we've always had science fiction movies. We've always had superhero movies and stuff.
Yeah, they weren't at top of the list like they are nowadays.
Right, exactly. Now it's the new hot thing, and really I think that might come from your and my generation having grown up on comics, and this is what we want to see. That's a lot of where that's coming from.
Relentlessly by the other generations for it.
In like 10, 20 years from now, we might actually get some good anime movies because, like, you know, so. Like for Oxenius' generation. Oh man, Oxenius' generation get the live-action Chobits movie you and I have always wanted.
Oh god, I can watch No, I don't know if this is a live-action elfin lead one, is where people are shitting and pissing themselves all over the place. And that's probably a normal fucking plot point. Dude, that's worse is the actual manga. Everybody is shitting and pissing. His cousin that he's having a strange incestuous interest in is pissing and shitting herself. Random girls that show up to stay at the hotel she's running are pissing and shitting themselves. The random buddies that she brings over pissing and shitting themselves.
Are you actually is this a joke, or are you actually talking about what happens in the manga and the show?
Literally, everybody keeps showing up to piss and shit themselves. And somehow it's like the first thing you learn about the person. Like, could you imagine how long it'd take me to find out you wore a diaper?
That's like
I can't actually be wearing a diaper since the day I met you. And I wouldn't know, because for one, I wouldn't ask, and two, I don't think you'd bring it up. You would just be like, hey, by the way, I'm wearing a diaper. And I'd be like, oh, get out of my house.
Well, Malmodo, let's be honest. If I was wearing a diaper, and I was the type of person who would wear a diaper for whatever reason, I probably would tell you.
Yeah.
I'd probably want you to know.
They're like, this person has a notoriously gun-shy bladder or whatever, something like that. And that's why she's pissing herself. Then the other people that keep pooping themselves, they really don't have a good excuse. The author's just obsessed with bodily function.
And that's why, instead of these important topics you want to talk about today, let's talk about what I want to talk about today. Let's talk about the trash that is anime. And how anime is exploitative trash disguised as Dragon Ball Z. That's what it is. That's what it is. We got all these
freaking right.
We got
anime a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
So anime is an incredible amount of shit hitting you because people don't want to pay the larger royalty fees, I feel, for actually getting the good shit over here.
Yeah.
So every now and again, if someone gets the good shit, they save up and buy a large amount. Or I guess, Funimation has finally worked out enough deals to where they could, pull the eyes out of your favorite shows and put in little doll eyes and shit like that, to where they can get theirs on the cheaps, because they're the ones that are mostly doing all of the editing and fucking rewrites.
Yeah.
But
we've gotten so many garbage
anime shit. The second reason why anime is shit is generally everything that is produced is some kind of shit. Like, most of television. You don't want to watch all of the TV. Like, if you had to watch all of human television, start to finish, for, some punishment from a defined figure, fucking Zardoz comes out and he's like, TV good, penis bad. And you had all of television. You would not be happy. You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to watch Friends. You're going to be like, shit, I got to watch fucking 18 years of the days of our lives.
That's true. It's true. It's like, I've been trying to get into Criminal Minds recently.
And just like how people love shitty, schlocky shit over here, they love shitty, schlocky shit over there.
Yeah.
So what you have over there is a lot more boobies and stuff, at least, to look at.
You know what it is I think as an American, it's kind of a mind fuck, because there's a translation problem. There's the fact that it's like it's not in our native language. You don't know what you're getting into. You watch a little bit of Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon, and you're like, ooh, what's this Japanese animation stuff? Ooh, I like Yu Yu Hakusho. And then you reach this point where you're like, I love anime. I want to watch everything anime. But anime has a wide berth of stuff that it contains, including exploitation, including porn, including bad stories and trash.
Yeah. Tentacle hentai has a lot of trash in it. I get really annoyed with bad tentacle hentai.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's my problem with weeaboos. My problem with weeaboos is that it's like, they love everything anime. As long as it's in that art style, they love it. And it's like, really? Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I get so mad at Amerime.
Yeah.
Because most of it sucks. The only Amerime that was done well, there's two of them. Fucking Avatar The Last Airbender and Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit royal. But, yeah. Those are the only things that have been sufficiently good Amerime. Yeah. But, if you want to get into the anime argument, we can always say that, at the end of the day, we're not going to get why Mom watched fucking hours and hours and hours of days of our lives. We just won't, because we'll be like, that's fucking dumb. Why would anybody ever subject themselves to watching people piss and moan about their extravagant living? Because every single one of them, they have these people in extremely absorbent, just audacious houses and all that other shit. They're just sitting there being like, "Ah, man, life sucks. Donna, why are you fucking Jimbo? I don't know." And that's the entirety of all of Days of Our Lives.
You leave my mom and her stories alone.
Yeah, I know, right? Watch a picture show.
I'm not necessarily opposed to people watching trash. I think my problem with anime is that it's like there's this quality where we thought it was like, or at least like with weebs. Weebs act like if it's anime, it's automatically good, and that's not the case. It's like, no, you.
Oh, it's because weebs are geeks, man.
Huh?
Geeks have an obsession with some sort of media.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I'm an anime nerd, so I only appreciate stuff that I think nerds appreciate, which is just if it's cogent and cohesive, where you're like watching Star Trek and you're sitting there being like, why the fuck are they getting off the ship? Like, we get annoyed by stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in anime, it's sort of like, oh, okay, it's explained. Oh, okay, the ship has arms. Okay, people have magic. Okay.
Yeah.
But, the average weeaboo, though, they're sitting there watching everything that comes their way. It's going to be what PWP drops that month. Yeah. Like, right now, there's a big frenzy over Goblin Slayer. Ooh, Goblin Slayer, it has rape in it. And everybody's like, oh, man, Crunchyroll...
Oh, great, I can't wait to watch the new anime with rape in it.
Yay.
We're talking about rape again.
It's not even well done, is the sad part. That's why I don't like it too much. Because it does feel gratuitous because they do this thing that I hate inside of... You'll see bad animes do this, including, I think I saw it inside of Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And Attack on Titan has a point where if people show up, they give you their background, and they die. And that happens inside this one, where they show up, and they're like, oh, man, like in this one, it's starting to be a bit more closer. Like, they're like, oh, shit, I forgot to make you care about this person. At the last 5 minutes, they have, like, a little tearjerker story about how they wanted to be the best warrior, and how their friends said that they could take on the world, and they'll save us all from the Demon King, and yada yada, and they get fucking murdered immediately by zombies, or how Daddy taught them how to fight, and then they get grabbed by the big fucking Gobbo, and the big Gobbo then grabs them in other places, and then there's just thrust.
And then you realize you're watching a porn.
I wish it was a porn. Porn would at least show me stuff. Like, I read plenty of hentai, I'm ready for that. But it doesn't show me shit. I'm just sitting there being like, okay. So that was just an emotional tug to make me care about these characters that are otherwise unlikable. Like, one guy's just this obnoxious cunt. He's sitting there being like, I'm going to be the best warrior ever, I'm not going to wait for my party, I'm going to run away, blah, blah, blah. Like, this reminds me of those Leroy Jenkins types, where you're playing, like, WoW or something. They start charging through, and you're like, no, you dumb cunt, no one can heal that well. It's not just me. You don't have the health to take that many hits per second. Like, yeah, pain in the ass stuff. / healers have...
What about healers?
Character. She's got, like, 2 miracles. She goes in there, and she's like, I can heal people twice, and I can make light twice. And it says, like, oh, so it's like D&D level spells. That fucking sucks. Opening a beer, kicking the feet up, being like, man, I tell you what, anime.
Anime is for the gays.
Anime is for the gays?
It's for the gays.
Yaoi isn't that bad. I've seen some good Shonen Ai. And if you want to talk about For the Gays, or on High School Academy is actually worth your watch.
I still haven't watched that yet. I hear it's really good, though. It's got Nick Mignogna in it.
Sitting here being like, anime fucking lame. You're going to be watching anime late.
Okay, all right, let's just point this
you
out.
False prophet, you hypocrite.
We are hypocrites. As much as we're making fun of weebs right now because y'all fucking deserve it, we're weebs too. I love anime. I love anime, but I like good anime. I don't like shit anime.
So you've watched Berserk.
And not every anime is good. There's plenty of shit. There's plenty of shit, Auxentius. Stop watching it.
Have you read Berserk?
Berserk is great. I have read Berserk.
Oh, yeah, and it's full of rape.
Yeah. Auxentius.
It's cover to cover rape.
Stop watching crap like Ramen Queen. Stop it. Stop. You have a problem.
The girl inside of the
restaurant. My tiny little friend.
I'm trying to remember which one is Ramen Queen. Is that the one where that girl comes into that guy's shop and she's obsessed with all sorts of fast food variety shit?
I think so. He showed me some video one day, which we watch every now and then, where it's like a music video about about them like eating ramen noodles. It's kind of funny. It's kind of hilarious. That's like, you know, it's like the equivalent.
It's a comedy.
It's the equivalent. I don't. Well, but again, it's just a music video. It's just something somebody made, but they're using that anime as like a base for it. But it's like,
well, you know how terrible Dinner for Schmucks is, right?
It's like how you and I have the Jurassic World is big. You know, it's like Xenius and I have Ramen Queen. That's what we have. That's so we need to remix that. We need to remix that. Yeah.
You just reminded me of that shit again. Yeah. That's too funny.
we need to remake. We need to remix that shit. I like to masturbate with eating top ramen. Books. So.
Picking up. That's what it's called. God damn it.
A T-Rex and a giant cowboy eating ramen noodles. Still screaming. I found a really good one of Inside Out.
Make one for Berserk, just for the Berserk.
Oh my, that would be great. Oh, we gotta find it. I found a really good one of Inside Out where it's like, you know, just like it makes you wonder what's going on in someone's head, and then she looks at her mom, and then it zooms in her mom's head, and there's just the giant cowboy going It's great.
Yes, it does sound lovely.
My favorite one is the new Star Wars.
I thought I found them all. I've been hunting them.
Yeah, but I really like the one with the new Star Wars, where it's like it's got Hux and the Nazi stormtroopers looking up at the sky, and then Finn's looking up and Poe's looking up, and there's a giant cowboy, and then he screams, and there's a big energy beam and it blows up like, I can't believe it's not Coruscant. It just blows up a bunch of planets. A giant cowboy is the Star Killer weapon.
Oh, excellent.
So,
but yeah, that's just funny.
And that's why DC Comics sucks. Anyway.
It's true.
Yeah.
They don't have giant cowboy lasers.
They don't have giant cowboy lasers.
That'd be the best lasers.
I don't know when, and see now with DC, it's like they're under this. Again, they keep just doing whatever. They just abjectly refuse to listen to anything. They're gonna make three. They're gonna make three different Joker movies
because they got a little money.
They got a little money, but they can make so much more money if the franchise is in trouble. The only thing they got going
fuck you, just give them money no matter what they make.
I'm not gonna give them money. Fuck them.
Give them money. Start making money. Just give them money.
Listen,
run up there and start sucking Dan DiDio's dick. He needs it. His
won't. I refuse.
His dick is so dry. And
no, I won't suck his dick. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Now listen, people out there, whoever's listening to this, all 25 of you, I abhor you. I beseech you, don't support Warner Brothers. Don't support DC Comics right now. At least not their movies. You can support their comics, but don't support their movies. Don't go watch it. All they've got going for them is Wonder Woman. Everything else is trash. Don't see Shazam. Don't see Aquaman. Don't see one of the 3 different continuity Joker movies that are coming out. Don't do it. Don't. You vote with your wallet. You vote your wallet, so close that wallet. Close that wallet.
Now, remember what they did with Solo at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think DC is just going to utterly give up and trash their movie group, production company.
I hope they do.
But I think that they'll be like, we're dumbasses for a little bit. Or at least fire Dan DiDio.
They should have fired Dan DiDio a long time ago. It's like, you know, but he's in the comics realm of it. He's not making the movies. But yeah, like we need to send a message. It's like I'm like, you know, seriously, like watching Shazam, it just is. It's supporting Trump. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's just like, you know.
Oh man.
The moral is go out. It's almost
November. Out there being like, good. Gotta go watch DC movies.
We gotta go vote. We gotta go vote, man. We gotta save everything. We gotta save the world. They think Aquaman's gonna save everything. Aquaman, a character that nobody likes, including his fans. I'm a fan of Aquaman, and I don't want. I don't care. I don't care if Jason Momoa is Aquaman. I don't give a fuck.
I don't want to be Aquaman. He's brunette.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman, that sweet Aryan look.
I'm sure Jason Momoa is a very nice person.
I'm telling you, the reason why is because no one else is blonde on the fucking crew. You got a brunette, and a brunette, and a black guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no blondes. What the fuck?
There's nothing sticking out anymore because they're like, I don't know, maybe they're terrified of having any blondes on there. Like, shit, we're sending over that white power message too strong.
I mean, Captain America...
Grab a minority and throw them in frame.
I mean, Captain America and Thor are both blonde, and, you know, hey, Black Widow changed her hair to blonde.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I think it was just Scarlett Johansson's like, I'm going to be blonde.
She's like, I'm not dyeing my hair for this gig. It's like, ScarJo, come on, it's your biggest gig. I don't want to be Black Widow no more. I want to go make shitty versions of Battle Angel Alita.
She wants more of that awesome success that was the Ghost in the Shell movie.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, Ghost in the Shell, not Battle Angel Alita. God, I got mixed up.
Yeah.
I'm high on life, Eddie.
We should talk about that movie.
And also drugs.